now listening to Chop Talk by the fan, for the fan.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Chop Talk. This is our second episode. I'm your host, Ethan.
And I'm Bailey.
And coming live to you after the Marlins series. Obviously, Game 3 got postponed to August 9th. But we're here to just talk about the ups and the downs we had this series. The difference between Friday night, Saturday night. Some good not signings, but some good news. Sean Murphy, he's coming back. They're DFA-ing Trump, keeping Baldwin in the lineup. We're going to talk about all that, everything going on. And Bailey, what do you want to start with?
Well, let's start out with probably the best thing we could start with was Friday night. We got 19 hits.
Yes, the bats finally came alive for us.
Finally woke up. So that was good to see. But not just 19 hits. 7 of those 19 hits came with runners in scoring position. So Friday night's game, we were 7 for 17 with runners in scoring position, which is a whole lot better than what we've done every other game. Of the starting 9 hitters, 6 of those guys had a multi-hit game, with the only starter not getting a single hit was Jared Kelly. However, he has been making good contact lately, so that's not a terrible game. But anytime a team gets 19 hits, 10 runs, hits well with runners in scoring position, you'll take that. That's not anything that you're going to complain about too much.
The big thing we love to see, Ozuna and Olsen going back-to-back. Love to see it. Hopefully we see a lot more of that this year. Snip Bear was in the dugout. Ozuna brought Snip Bear back, which we didn't take to the West Coast with us, and that was a big thing to have. We had a lot of good energy Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Schwellenbach, man, let's talk about Schwellenbach and that gym he threw.
Oh, yeah, just absolutely dealt the entire game. You can't ask for any better outing from anybody at any level. To go 8 innings pitched with, giving up, 2 hits, 10 Ks. I mean, even the 2 hits he gave up, they weren't hit extraordinarily hard. I mean, so, he was pitching well all night long. He was getting good out contact. They weren't, poking him in the gap. They weren't, taking him deep. I mean, he looked comfortable, and he looked like he wanted to be there, and he was ready to go on the mound for him. So I think that's going to be a good guy to have on the staff as we get deeper into the season.
And, I mean, he was just missing barrels. He broke his swing and miss record, previously 21, now 24 as of Friday night. And another guy that threw a great game Friday night, Spencer Strider.
Mm-hmm.
He looked real good in his AAA start.
Yes, he did.
5.1, 8 Ks, 2 walks, 74 pitches thrown. I mean, obviously, they're trying to keep his numbers down. But he could have easily went 6-7 innings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's looking like himself. Can't wait to see him back in the lineup. What's he got? One more rehab start left till he joins us?
I believe that is right. I know they said they were going to try for 2 more rehab starts. I'm assuming one of those 2 was including Friday night start. So we'll probably expect to see him get another start for Gwinnett sometime, maybe middle of this week, and then maybe see him first of next week in Atlanta. So that's very exciting news. But talking about Friday night, as well as the Braves did hit the ball, Friday compared to Saturday was pretty much just like night and day. I mean, you go from 19 hits Friday night with 7 for 17 with runners in scoring position, putting up 10 runs, and then Saturday night you only produced 7 hits with all of those guys being left on base. The team was 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. 6 of those were all in innings that started with an extra base hit. So it's not like the few hits we're getting are with 2 outs and then the next guy just can't get it done with 2 outs. I mean, these are innings that we're starting off with the leadoff guy being in scoring position, and not only are we not getting hits with runners in scoring position, we're not even moving them over. We're not hitting sacrifice flies. We're not hitting backside ground balls to move them over. So the situational hitting is just not good either.
I mean, 2 that stick out to me was Michael Harris to lead off the game. First pitch, ropes a double, standing on second. We don't score him. And I mean, we needed that big because A.J. Smith-Shawver, he had some struggles in the first inning.
Yep.
I mean, first guy, first pitch, ropes a double.
Bails him out with a double play the next batter.
And then next batter, De La Cruz makes a great play in left field. Off his back foot, weight backwards. Throws the guy out at third, trying to tag up. Gets him out of a jam. Third guy comes up, he walks him. And then, as everyone knows, fourth guy comes up, he puts it right down the middle of the plate. 96 mile-an-hour fastball to the chop house.
Oh, yeah.
And then Fairchild, leadoff triple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, double with the error.
Yep.
But standing on third, leads off the inning.
I know they were going to double check that. They were going to double check that. They may have actually gone back and changed that scoring decision. I don't know if they did change it, but I know they did mention it. But either way, he was hustling around the bases, and it was good to see him, find some pop in his bat and hit something hard.
When we do see Fairchild in the field, he has been producing for us. He's got a great arm in right field, as we saw the other night. Hose that runner going to third.
Mm-hmm.
His bat, it's been a strong bat. He's got a good barrel percentage. He gets on base a lot. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of him.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds bad when you say, "Oh yeah, we took Friday, putting up 10 runs and shutting them out," and then Saturday you come to the ballpark and you can't even get one run. That's not very encouraging. But I think one thing that we can continue to harp on is something that is encouraging is the pitching staff. Right now, the Braves pitching staff has a 4.36 ERA. That's 17th lowest in the MLB. A 1.3 WHIP, which is also 17th lowest in the MLB. 36 total runs given up. That's 10th lowest in the MLB, with allowing the 13th fewest hits in the entire league. So basically, what I'm seeing is the Braves are not a dominant pitching staff right now, but they're in that middle third of the league, which to me is good enough to keep you in the games. And I believe that's what we've been seeing. I mean, you're seeing the Braves get beat 4-0, 5-3, 7-5, 1-0. I mean, they're not going out here and they're not putting up 5 runs and then giving up 15. So the pitching staff has done well. Smith-Shawver, he did kind of struggle at times Saturday night. He went 4 2/3, giving up 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. 2 of his 3 runs came on that 2-out home run in the first inning. So that's kind of it happened, learn from it, move on from it. I think he did do well battling through those innings that he had runners on. He didn't roll over and just give it to the other guys. So, he did fight, and, I was glad to see that. Suarez came in. He pitched well for 3 1/3, 2 hits, 2 walks. The only run he gave up was on that home run.
Same guy.
Same exact guy. That's exactly right.
The guy was seeing the ball well that night. I mean, it was his night. He had a good night.
He sure did.
But, our pitchers are doing what they can to keep us in ball games.
Oh, yeah.
Our offense is just not. Mm-mm. When you're leaving, what'd you say we left? How many on Saturday night?
Saturday night we were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring
0 for 9 with runners in scoring position.
And 7 total left on base.
7 total left on base. And Hare started the game out on second. Fairchild, I believe it was the 7th inning or 8th
7th or 8th.
7th or 8th inning.
Mm-hmm.
Lead off triple, basically.
Yep.
And we can't score neither of those guys. No outs, can't get them in. And you're not going to win ball games doing that. The bats have to come alive. And just even so, going to the coaching staff with this one, we got to have better situational hitting. Mm-hmm. We got to understand what's going on and what we got to do to get runners in.
That's right. I mean, the name of the game is scoring runs. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's home runs, gappers, little blue base hits, bunting, or just being a very good pitch selective batter and drawing a lot of walks, sack flies. It doesn't matter. The name of the game is scoring runs. And if you can't score enough runs to win, then you're not going to be a successful ball club. One person I am looking forward to hopefully finding a rhythm here shortly is Austin Riley. He's not looking like himself. He just doesn't look like he's comfortable in the box. I don't know if it's just, one of those things where he's off to a rough start, but I mean, it doesn't even look like he's having fun up there.
Not at all. I think he's putting too much pressure on himself because they've had a slow start.
Yeah.
1-8 as of right now. 1-8, a slow start, and his bat's just not been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand, you're vet, you're one of the guys, and you're wanting to do everything you can for your team. But you've got to settle down and look back and understand, hey, I'm getting paid to play baseball.
Yeah.
Go up there and have fun.
Right.
And you will start producing. Don't put so much pressure on yourself.
Yep.
Because you're not the only one that's doing bad. The whole team's doing bad.
Mm-hmm.
So go in there, take it at bat by at bat, and
Yep.
just settle down and have some fun.
Yep.
Go up there, have a good eye. Because right now, when the swings he takes, they really look sometimes like he's never swung a bat before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he is lost up there.
Yeah. Well, and another good thing to take away from the Braves so far is prior to the game on Friday night, through the first 6 games of the year, the Braves were third in the league as a team for the most hard hit balls put in play.
We're barreling balls.
They're barreling balls up. It's not like they're striking up and hitting weak ground, or striking out and hitting weak ground balls. I mean, they are hitting some balls hard. They've just gotten unlucky at times, and unfortunately, it seems like they've gotten unlucky almost every single time. It's not, here and there a little bit.
It's like we talked about, me and you watched the game Saturday night. We sat right here and watched the game. The first inning, we had 3 line drives.
Yep.
2 were caught. 1 was Harris's double.
Yep.
I mean, when we're hitting the ball, we're making good contact.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not finding grass. We're not finding holes.
That's
We're
right.
going straight to people.
Yep.
And eventually, that's going to change because FIP, fielding independent pitching, the FIP against the Braves right now is high because we're bearing a lot of balls.
Yeah.
And they're just getting caught. But eventually, that's going to change.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I mean, they're not, and the record speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and one of the guys that has been hitting the ball hard is Drake Baldwin, Braves' top prospect. He's obviously going to remain on the MLB roster with Chadwick Trump being DFA'd. Baldwin is only hitting 156. He's 4 for 26 right now. So obviously, it's not exactly good. And when you look at that, just looking at the black and white, that can be a little discouraging. But he has an expected slugging percentage of .533 with a hard hit rate of 61.9%. So if you're hitting the ball that well, you're seeing it that well, there's nowhere to go but up. As long as he continues to hit the ball like that, he's eventually going to find some consistent success with it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the guy when he hits, that ball's hit hard.
Yep.
But behind the plate, I mean, he's been very good behind the plate.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a wall back there. I don't think we've had many wild pitches passed.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a wall. He's got a good arm on him. I think he's rushed a couple throws lately. There've been a few high.
Yeah.
He had the one error throw where he threw him to the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just rushed himself.
Yep.
He's a rookie. He's still fighting for that job.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the back of his mind, Murphy's coming up, and he's trying to make the most of the opportunities he has had.
Oh, yeah. Well, and, Murphy's coming back from suffering that broken rib in spring training. I think he's also feeling like this is a little bit of a coming back into the season kind of thing from even last year, because last year he only played in 72 games after suffering an oblique injury on opening day. So in those 72 games, he only batted .193 with a .636 OPS. So Baldwin is definitely kind of, they're teammates, but in the back of his mind, he's thinking he wants to win that starting spot. So I think as long as he's hitting the ball well, you're going to see Drake Baldwin in the lineup, a couple times a week. Obviously right now Sean Murphy is the franchise catcher. It's his job to lose, so he's going to get the first chance. But if Baldwin is producing, you can't not put him in the lineup. And shoot, I mean, you never know if Baldwin keeps hitting the ball hard like he is. Somebody that's batting .214 right now in Marcell Ozuna may not be the DH. If he can't get it together and Baldwin keeps hitting the ball hard, you have to put the best lineup on the field.
You do. And speaking of the best lineup, we haven't really had a consistent lineup this year at all.
Not at all.
At the outfield. Let's go ahead and switch over to the outfield. and that whole debacle that's going on in the outfield.
Yep.
We have no consistency there.
No.
I mean, obviously Michael Harris, he's going to be our center fielder. He's one of the best in the game. But he hasn't played. I think he sat 2 games so far this year.
Yeah.
I know he sat at least one, but I think he sat 2.
I know he sat the last game of the Dodgers series because Ozzie led that game off. Because he ended up getting subbed in later in the game.
Yes, he did. And he came out and did what he does. He hit the ball. He got a hit.
That's right. And, I mean, we keep saying Acuna. He's going to come back eventually. He's going to come back. We all know that.
Yeah.
But, right now he's not in the lineup, so you have to talk about the here and now. Yes, you need to look forward to the future of when he's coming back and when he's healthy. But you have to talk about right now because right now is when we're losing games. And these games are going to matter when you get to September.
We need when Acuna comes back, we want to have a record like, hey, we're competitive. We're still trying to play to get to the playoffs to win the NL East, not come back to I don't really need to really come back now because we're not playing for nothing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, right now we've used a whole lot of outfielders. I mean, in Michael Harris,
Eli White,
Fairchild,
Kelenic, Stuart Fairchild, Brian De La Cruz. De La Cruz, his bats finally showed up.
Yep. He's I mean, just like anybody else, just couldn't get it started right at the beginning of the year. The first couple games, but he's looking a little better in the box now. So hopefully he'll take off. Hopefully Fairchild will take off. Hopefully 9 guys in the lineup. It doesn't matter where they're at. You just got to have 9 guys that are willing to go in there, swing good pitches, get on base, and drive each other in.
3 for 4 Friday night with a walk.
Mm-hmm.
He hit great. And speaking of the outfield, let's talk about somebody that we kind of skipped over a little bit in our first episode, but we really want to kind of dive into as that outfielder we haven't seen yet that we signed this offseason. Alex Verdugo.
Yep.
What do you think about him? I mean, we've yet to see him this year.
Yeah.
We signed him for 1 year, $1.5 million, knowing we already had a stacked outfield, but we've yet to see him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's 28 years old, so he's in his prime. He's done some good things for Boston, the Dodgers, the Yankees. He's a career .272 hitter, so I'll take that.
Oh yeah,
I'll take that. I mean, that's a guy that you're going to probably, in my opinion, you're going to see anywhere from the 6, 7 hole, maybe the 2 hole since Profar's lost his spot. If Verdugo comes up, starts hitting well, you may see Acuna, Verdugo, Riley if Riley starts hitting a little better. But like I mentioned the other night, Snitker has got so many different possible lineups that he can throw out on a daily basis. It's just a matter of finding the right one and then sticking to it. But I like Verdugo. I think he can be that guy that he's going to take the younger guys up under his wing, but he's also going to, step up and be that guy that's like, I'm in my prime and I'm here to do what I can do.
I agree with all that, but we've yet to see him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's concerning to me unless the whole reason for him is AA's thinking later in a package deal.
Yeah.
But you can't package a guy that nobody's seen play this year.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, that was, they signed him, obviously it was after the whole Profar contract. So when I first saw it, I was kind of not questioning Alex Anthopoulos, but I was kind of just wondering, okay, what's his game plan here?
Yeah, we both had the same question. Why?
And the first thing that came to my mind was, is he going to be used to try to get somebody at the trade deadline? Because he most certainly can. He can most certainly help the team if that's what his purpose is. But he can also help get some pitching in the bullpen. He can help get another shortstop. He can help get whatever we're in need of at the trade deadline. I think he can be that person that's included in a package deal. Because with a 1 year contract, whether you're a player, manager, in field hockey, baseball, ping pong, it don't matter. A 1 year contract, there's not really a whole lot of faith there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what their plans are for Verdugo after this year, if they even have him after this year. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what AA's cooking up. Hopefully he's cooking something up. Let's switch gears here and go back to the infield. Arcia and Nick Allen battle. Let's talk Arcia. Me and you kind of talked about this today, but let's put it back out there. You have the big 5, average on-base percentage, OPS, WAR, and RBIs.
Mm-hmm.
Arcia ranked dead last out of the 18 qualifying shortstops. And to qualify for batting accolades, you have to have at least 3.1 plate appearances per game.
That's right.
He qualified dead last out of 18 for qualifying shortstops last year.
In all 5 of those stats.
In all 5 of those stats.
All 5 of those. So batting average, on-base percentage, OPS, WAR, and RBIs. The only other stat you could throw in there that he did fairly well at was hitting home runs. He hit 17 of them. I will take that, but I mean he batted 208, 213, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he either hit a home run or he struck out.
And that sounds kind of like the Moneyball things, but that's where OPS comes in. Mm-hmm. That's where OPS combines your on-base percentage and your slugging.
Yep.
And if you're still dead last in that stat,
yep,
that's not really doing us any good for an out or a home run.
Well, and it's not like he came in and batted 240, but then just put up astronomical slugging numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, he finished dead last in every single one of these categories. It's not like it was just 2 and the other 3 he was kind of in the middle, or he led in 1. I mean, it was all 5 categories. I mean, that's not good for your shortstop that's supposed to be your quarterback on the field.
And then the other end of the spectrum of a shortstop, you want to have that Gold Glove guy. You want to have that glove. His defensive WAR was a staggering 1.0. That means, for those of y'all that aren't exactly sure what defensive WAR means, a 1.0 defensive WAR means that he was on 1 game better than the league average shortstop. When you don't have a Gold Glove to go with a not good bat,
mm-hmm.
that's what you got to have as a shortstop. You either got to have that Gold Glove that, like Simba.
Yeah.
You put him out there, you didn't care what he hit.
No.
Because any ball near him, he was getting to, he was making the plays.
And up until Dansby's last year with the Braves, Dansby Swanson didn't have a great bat. He hit well at times, but he wasn't known for his bat. He was known for his athleticism and the plays he was going to make in the field. But that 1.0 defensive WAR that Arcia posted last year, that ranked 20th in the league last year of shortstops. 20th. So, it's not like, he's not hitting well, but then we can brag on him because we've got one of the best shortstops in the league, because we really don't. We don't have that shortstop that we can put up against any other team. If you compare lineups to any other team in the league, we're going to take Michael Harris in center. We're going to take Austin Riley and Olsen on the corners. Most teams, the vast majority of teams, we're going to take Ozzie over their other team's second baseman. I'm even going to take Sean Murphy behind the plate against a lot of catchers. But shortstop for shortstop, there's not a lot of guys that I'm going to take Arcia over.
No, that's not. And that's one thing me and you talked about this a lot this offseason, bringing in another shortstop. The Bo Bichette, me and you were both excited for that never came to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about our guy that's been playing for us. And I've been impressed with him, and I think you have too. Nick Allen. Yes, Saturday he had a bad game. 0 for 3, struck out 3 times. All swinging. All went down swinging. And that dropped his average, who still leading the team, 278.
278, yeah.
So the guy had one bad night. He's still leading the team in batting average.
Mm-hmm.
His gloves been great in the field. Yep. He's got 0 errors on the season so far.
And I think the vibe I get from Nick Allen is he's just that guy that he just wants to be at the ballpark every day. He just wants to play the game. He just wants to have an opportunity to show what he can do. He doesn't, have to be flashy. He doesn't have to be the guy that, everybody's running up to after the game to stick a microphone in his face. He just wants to play baseball, and he just wants to be a part of the team. And I think the guys have kind of recognized that, and I think Snicker has as well. You just know he's going to give you his best every single night.
I mean, and at 26 years old, he's just entering his prime.
Mm-hmm.
And, I look forward to seeing what he can produce for us this year.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he's won the shortstop spot between me and you, personally.
So far, I agree. I think any coach, any manager, they all kind of have their own little time frame of how long they're going to give guys to win certain spots. Whether it's, De La Cruz and Fairchild and Kelnick, and even Eli White out in the outfield battling for a couple spots, or even Verdugo battling for a spot, or it's Nick Allen Arcia battling for shortstop. I think you're going to see probably a couple more weeks of Snicker testing the waters and seeing what the best fit is. But yeah, as of right now, I agree with you. I think Nick Allen has played better. He's played for the team better, and so yeah, right now in my eyes he has won the spot. So, but it doesn't matter who it is. You just got to hope for one of them to play well, and then that's the guy you go with. But coming up this week, we've got a series with the Phillies. I think this is a very critical series. We're going to see, what we're made of. So it's going to be a very, very crucial 3 games here in Atlanta the next couple days.
Now, with the game postponement from Sunday, do you think we're going to stick with the rotation and it's going to be Sale tomorrow, or do you think they're going to give Grant Holmes his start?
Well, I double checked that yesterday, and as of right now, I think we're scheduling for Sale tomorrow, then Grant Holmes on Wednesday.
We're going to skip Elder?
I believe he's been sit down.
He has.
I'm pretty sure he has. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me pull that up and double check that real quick. They've done so much transactions here lately with the whole Jesse Chavez elected free agency, and now they've signed it back again.
Because Bryce Elder started the final game of the series against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But they sent him back down?
I'm about positive. I've about got it pulled up right here. Let's see. Maybe not.
But speaking of that last game of the Dodgers, man, was that a heartbreaker.
Oh, yeah.
That was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that was rough.
I mean, we come out 5-0, top of the second, and from then on out, we left 11 guys on base, and poor Austin Riley, again, he's had a rough start to the season. It was his birthday that day, and, 1 out, he popped up, bases loaded. Couldn't produce nothing, and then, as everyone knows, Ohtani walked it off on us. And, yeah, that was a heartbreaker. That was a heartbreaker for sure. Because that was a game I think we should have won. We had every opportunity to win it, and we didn't. And that's kind of been the Braves' MO this season.
Yep. Well,
a lot of games we should have won. We just could not score anybody.
Well, I mean, they were up 5-0, so they gave up 6 unanswered runs against the Dodgers. You can't do that. You can't do that, especially when those 5 runs were scored early in the game. If I'm not mistaken, they were all in the first 2 innings.
They were all in the first 2 innings, and something I looked at today, just about all of them were from errors is the only bad part.
Yep. So, I mean, Dodgers just fought. At the end of the day, they just did what they needed to do. They came back. They put themselves in a position to do just enough to win the game, and the Braves didn't. That's what it boils down to.
It really is.
But I just double-checked. I was wrong. I was thinking of a couple weeks ago when they sent Bryce Elder down, but they did recall him last week, so yes, he still is up. But yeah, as of right now, they're going with Sale, Grant Holmes, and Schwellenbach for the 3 starters for the Phillies.
Well, Schwellenbach for sure. I mean, he's got 2 games under his belt this season, and he has a perfect 0.00 ERA.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Love
pretty
that
good.
Schwellenbach.
Yeah, I like to see them goose eggs. So hopefully he'll keep throwing good. Hopefully Grant Holmes, he's going to throw good, and Chris Sale, you expect him to do what he's capable of doing. I think the series with the Phillies is being a home series. They're definitely capable of taking at least 2 out of 3, maybe even find a spark somewhere and find a sweep. That might be stretching it a little bit, but I mean, they've got to play to win just like we do.
This has the potential to be a huge momentum swing for the Braves because obviously, the Phillies gave the Dodgers their first loss of the season when it should have been the Braves. And they're our biggest rivals in the NL East. Mm-hmm. To go out there and be able to take down our biggest rival in our division, that's momentum because like we talked about, the games you really want to matter the most are the NL East games.
Yep.
Because that's how you win your division.
That's right.
Them other games, they do matter because overall record.
Oh, yeah.
But you want to be able to beat your conference or your division teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Marlins. They were 1-1 with them. That game's postponed to August 9th. Mm-hmm. The Mets, the Phillies, the Nationals.
Yep.
Phillies are off to a hot start. The Marlins are so-so. The Nationals, they're kind of like the Braves. They're not off to a good start.
I think they're 3-6 right now.
And then the Mets are about a 500 ball club.
Yeah, they're right at 500. So, out of the division as a whole, They're playing some good baseball. Phillies are playing well. Mets are not playing bad. Nationals are honestly not playing terrible. And the Marlins are playing, pretty good as well. So Braves are pretty much the only team in the division that has not, had more than really one good game. I mean, the pitching staff is, keeping them in ball games. Offense has just not been able to produce when we needed them to. So hopefully we'll see that change in the next coming days. And as a team, they'll kind of, get a little fire under their tail, and they'll just take off. And, like I said the other night, you win the series, take 2 out of 3 games, and then you just keep increasing that win total by 1, and then boom, in just a week or 2, you're back to 500, and then you just go from there.
I fully agree. We take on the Phillies, 3-game homestand, and then we're back on the road.
Mm-hmm.
By that time, we should have another episode out to cover the Phillies series and all. But we're still hopeful. We still got a lot of hope for the season.
Oh, yeah.
Strider should be coming back within, I'd say, a week, 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah, probably 2 weeks at the most.
I doubt we'll see him in, I believe our next series is against the Rockies.
Rays,
that's
Tampa
right.
Bay. We got Tampa Bay, and then we're at Toronto. So
Yes,
we're
that's
going
right.
from south to north.
Yeah, south to north.
So
It's going to be another road trip, but
Yep.
we got to hold it together. There's no game break going from Tampa Bay to Toronto. That's going
right.
to be a little tough.
that's
But
right.
got to do what we got to do. Got to win ball games.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to touch on this episode?
I believe that's it. I think we're going to take the next couple of days to cheer on the Braves against the Phillies. I really, really hate the Phillies, so I hope we can get at least 2 wins and take the series, first one of the year, and then just keep on trucking and just go from there.
Well, everyone, again, I'm your host, Ethan,
And I'm Bailey.
and this has been Chop Talk by the fan for the fan.
Appreciate it, guys.